welcome. I hope you're doing all right. Album review time again. So, Robledo, Wanted Man. So this is coming out on Frontiers, September the 17th. James Robledo is a singer for a band called Sinner's Blood, also on Frontiers. And this is his solo album. He's a Chilean guy, so he's from Chile. What are you going to get on this album? Well, let me run you through the people on the album first. You've got James, obviously, Robledo on the vocals. Alessandro Del Vecchio appears on this on bass and keyboards. Andre Hilgers on the drums and Francesco Maras on guitar. So what is this? This is produced by Alessandro Del Vecchio as well. So what do you get on this album? What does it sound like? What sort of bands are you looking at? So vocally, Robledo is a brilliant singer. He's got a really powerful voice. Definitely like some of the more recent classic metal sort of vocalists like Jorn Londe, Russell Allen, those sort of people. He's in that sort of range and that sort of power. You get a bit of a mix of sort of symphonic music sometimes, a sort of power metal sort of thing going on at other times. Sometimes it's straightforward metal. So there's a lot of a mixture, and also for this album, for me, it's a bit hit and miss. There's some really good tracks, there's some not so good tracks, and usually the not so good tracks are because it just doesn't resonate with me. I can understand that they are what people would like, but they're just not my sort of thing. So I'm obviously going to review the album because there's a lot to like as well. Let me run you through track by track on this album. So it starts off with Heart's the Only Enemy, a medium paced song. This is a mix of sort of melodic metal and hard rock. It's catchy, it's intricate, the guitar playing is really intricate. There's some great guitar solos, by the way, from Francesco Maras. He's a great guitar player and he's all over this album. It's guitar driven, but sometimes there's a lot of synths in it as well. And sometimes I just want guitar. I feel like Robledo sometimes, he's got a great powerful voice, but I just want to hear him sing straightforward metal, you know, because he's got that sort of power of Ronnie James Dio and people like that. So I want to hear him sing guitar driven stuff and not have synths all over it. And I don't think he suits the fast stuff, the speedy sort of symphonic stuff, you know, the Halloween type stuff, or you know, the master plan sort of stuff. That's the sort of stuff I don't think his voice suits. I think he should go for the straightforward sort of medium paced metal stuff. Make it heavy stuff because he's got a great voice. Anyway, moves on to Wanted Man. This was the first single actually, and I'll tell you why I like this one. This is a sort of a faster song, but I like this because it's got a huge chorus. It's so catchy. It's got a brilliant chorus on this. This does give me Jorn Londe vibes, and I'm a massive fan of Jorn Londe, as everyone knows. The chorus, like I said, is huge, and it does give you those master plan vibes. This is when he does it right, when he does those symphonic type speedy stuff right. There's other times on this album when it's not. It doesn't hit quite enough, but this one, it definitely does. There's a great sort of catchy melodic guitar riff as well going over this. So this is like power metal without the cheese, this one. But you'll find out when I go later on, it's got sort of like too much of that sort of Halloween type stuff for me. Quicksand is next. This gives me Jorn Londe vibes again. Keyboards play a big part in this one. I would just prefer the guitar being a lot higher in the mix. I think the keyboard sometimes overtakes some of these songs. It does on this one without a doubt. Almost a neo-classical solo on this one. It's a very fast technical solo. I actually prefer more melodic solos, but it just does showcase Francesco Maras and what a great guitar player he is. Dreams Deceive is next. Just another sleepless night. This was another single. I didn't like this one when it came out. I reacted to this. Bit of a fast symphonic track, not my favourite here. I do prefer it when he doesn't do this speedy stuff, for sure. But like I said, on Wanted Man, that track alone, he did it right. So he can do it right, but not on that one. Hate Like You's next. This has a sort of a slower classic rock and metal feel to it. This is where he does good on this. This is a slow to medium paced song. This lets Robledo's voice show its power. He's got so much power in this song and it really lets it breathe. This has a sort of a Zeppelin Kashmir sort of feel to it, like a classic metal. And how many songs have you heard with that Kashmir type riff? But it never grows old. It sounds great on here as well. It's got those Eastern sort of melodies running through it. Absolutely love it when metal songs do that. So that's a hit, that one. Shelter from Pain is next. This contains a great sort of fast galloping riff. Like this one. Again, gives me sort of Master Plan, Jorn Londe vibes a bit. This one really amps the guitars up, which is a plus point for me, without a doubt. A short but very fast solo. So Shelter from Pain, another great track. Next one's a ballad. Now, not so much one of my favourites. It's okay. Piano starts this off. Robledo's voice, though, does sound great with the piano on its own. He shines here vocally, as he does on all the album, really. But it just stays as a piano ballad, no drums. So I think it was missing a build, if you like. Higher Scope is next. This is another fast symphonic power metal type song. Not one of my favourites. A lot of people will like it, just not for me. I feel so much heaviness and power is lost in these sort of tracks. The heaviness comes and the melody comes when it slows down. The Good Will Rise is next. We put off this world, come together, we are strong. Great heavy riff in here, medium pace, so it's better for me. Through the verses and Robledo sounding powerful, really powerful. Again, he excels in these medium paced songs. This has a heavy sort of rock and roll feel to it also. Sort of metal, heavy metal rock and roll, if you like that song. Next one could be my favourite song on the album. It's called The Holy Book. It's a classic metal riff, runs through the track. My favourite riff on the album as well. A great soaring chorus. Robledo hits some amazing heights in this chorus. Really impressed with his vocal on this. I mean, he goes up and up and up. His register is absolutely fantastic. The Holy Book is actually my favourite track. It's amazing. Where Eagles Dare to Fly is the last track. Don't like this one so much. I like his tone at the start because he's singing that softer side. Makes a change actually, because usually he's got that Dio, Jorn Londe type roar, but he sort of changes it up a little bit in this. Very impressive, especially when he lets loose into that Jorn Londe type vibe. This is another sort of Halloween-esque chorus, so not really my sort of thing. I mean, Halloween sometimes do it good. Even them, Halloween, I prefer it when they're more serious and they slow it down. The vocals are great, but the song, not really my thing. I like the beginning when he sang in that lower range, but the rest of the song didn't really click with me. So very hit and miss for me, this Robledo album. And it sort of was when I did the reactions. I did all 3 reactions and 2 out of the 3 songs I liked. And I thought, oh, am I not going to like all the album? And it sort of was a bit like that. 2/3 of it were great, 1/3 of it not so much. Not everything is for me. But I know listening to that third that I didn't like, they're the sort of things that people do like, because I don't like absolutely everything. You know, it'd be a bit of a weird world if we all liked exactly the same music. So that fast sort of power metal stuff, symphonic stuff, just doesn't resonate with me. And it proved me right when I listened to the album. Some of it just didn't click, but some of it did. So if you like that sort of stuff, I'll recommend this album. The guy's got a brilliant, brilliant voice. In the songwriting department, the songs, some of them just didn't click with me. But, you know, it's good. A lot of the songs are really good. You know, I'd give this, like, you know, I don't usually score albums, but I'll probably give it, like, you know, 6.5 out of 10 for sure. Let me know what you think of the album when it comes out. There's lots of songs on YouTube if you want to check them out. I think there's 3 singles so far. If you like all 3 of them, you'll probably like the whole album without a doubt. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.